Welcome, everybody, to Ignite Humanity Live. So happy to be here. I am your host, Lady JB Owen, and we are talking about humanity. I know it's a great conversation and so full of fun. And why are we talking about humanity? Well, because we have great guests that come on the show and talk about how they are igniting humanity. Each and every one of us is doing it differently, and that's what's so wonderful, is our own unique style, our own flair, our joie de vivre that we bring to humanity is so interesting to talk about, because many of those people have had an ignite moment in their life, something that triggered them, something that started it all, something that had the ball rolling down the hill, but indirectly created a new opportunity for them to step into a greater version of themselves. And folks, when we are the best versions of ourselves, not perfect, not exact, but really living in our best possible manner, we actually are inspiring people around us, and we're creating an incredible ripple effect that will definitely ignite humanity. And that's what we talk about on the show. So thanks for being here. Welcome. If this is your first time, if you've been here many times, we love having you. Let's meet our guest for today and talk about how she is igniting humanity. Regina LaFrance is the author of SHAYLA, the new semi-autobiographical novel inspired by real events that deals with child abuse and finding emotional freedom. An incredible journey that reads like a movie. Her book is a calling and a movement dedicated to the survivors, dedicated to those who have survived abuse. Regina's timely story is one of the too many who have suffered. And when one suffers, we all suffer. She's dedicated to making sure we are aware of the signs when children are in distress, and igniting humanity by giving us the tools and strategies to help one another. We're happy to have her. Please welcome her to the show. Hello, welcome, welcome.
Hello, nice to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, so great to have you, and we thank you for being here. Where are you coming to us from?
I am in North Carolina.
We love it. Wonderful. Well, let's get into it. We're talking a little bit about the signs of making sure, and I love what you said in your bio, when one person suffers, we all suffer. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so when I was little, I suffered great trauma, and during that time, I pleaded with my mother to please not make me go to music lessons. But my mother told me I had to go. So in 2015, I had a flashback and a vivid memory of asking my mother not to let me go when one of my clients told me that her little girl didn't want to go to summer camp that year. I immediately felt the pain of that little girl not wanting to go, and the little girl never told her mom why she didn't want to go. And that's when I started my movement to keep children safe. And I decided to write my story so I could create awareness to people in charge of raising children to keep them safe and look out for the signs. Because
Mm.
when a child is in distress, they don't always talk about it, and they may not tell you because if someone is hurting them, they may be telling the child that no one's going to believe them, or that they're going to hurt their family, or they're going to hurt her or him even more.
It's
So I
true.
started my movement to create awareness.
It's true. Children often don't always know how to voice their concerns. They often
Yes,
don't want to make it harder on mommy or daddy or make it worse. And so they really do often conceal and confine what's really going on. So
yes.
that sparked in you a memory of you not wanting to go to music lessons because something was happening to you in your life.
Yes, I always remembered my abuse, but it wasn't until that day in 2015 that I remembered myself asking my mother and crying for her not to make me go. And
Mm.
she and my father both believed it was very important for me to learn music, and they really were proud because I was smart and I liked to learn things. And unfortunately, the person in charge of teaching me music was molesting me for a long time, and
Mm.
I was suffering a lot.
Mm.
And my parents told me I had to go.
Yes, I'm so sorry that that happened to you. And thank you for your bravery and sharing. I know it takes a lot of courage, a lot of inner work, and a lot of understanding, forgiveness, and empathy, even for you, for your family, for all of those involved. What have you learned from this experience? And I know you probably put much of it in your book, but what can you tell our viewers that you have gained? And why I appreciate it so much is because many people become a victim of their story. And I'm always so inspired by people who become the hero of their story.
Yes, so my I called my movement to keep children safe my Ladybug movement, because that was
Mm,
my nickname when I was little, was
mm,
Ladybug. And then my abuser told me that I was no ladybug. My abuser called me cockroach for so long and told me that I was ugly and stupid, and I believed
mm,
that for about 40 years. When
wow.
when I decided to write my story to help children be safe and educate people about the signs of a child being in distress, I found out that my own heart was getting healed from letting that secret out and letting the burden out of carrying that shame and that sadness for so many years. So I have my Ladybug movement, but I also have my Let's Move Mountains movement going on, because I now discovered by doing my own work that people my age or older or younger, they are still hurting from the trauma they may have suffered when they
Mhm,
were younger,
mm,
either children or young adults, or during their lifetime when they were younger. And for fear of being judged and fear of being criticized or uh, I always thought people thought less of me because of what happened to me, but people didn't. It was me inside my
mm.
mind and my heart. That's how I felt about myself.
It's so beautiful that you say that. And I'm a huge proponent of storytelling because often what we keep buried inside becomes shame and blame and guilt. And it really becomes the shroud that we live
Yeah.
in to be small because we don't want someone to know. And what happens when we do share, and I've seen this so many times, we have published over 750 authors talking about different things that have caused
Yes.
difficulty in their life. It liberates you, it empowers you, and what
Yes.
happens is you shift from being that happened to me to that I was gifted with this opportunity to learn from that, to use what I gained from that to now help others. And I think that is a recipe for igniting humanity, when we
Yes.
decide to take something that we have learned, even though it was difficult, to help others, to inspire others, to uplift others. So
Yes.
give us some tools, or give us some examples of things that we should be looking for with our own children or other children. Recently I was in an airport and there was a little boy screaming and crying in the middle of the airport all by himself. He must have been under 2 years old,
Wow.
crying and crying and screaming. And so many people were just standing there staring at him. And I went right up to him, I knelt right down and I said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And from way far away, his mom came running. And she's like, "Yes, I'm his mom. He's with me." And I said, "Well, then please do something. Pick him up because he's in distress." And I was worried that something was deeply wrong with him, or he was
Yes.
lost, or he was alone. And what I noticed though was there was a lot of people around who just were standing there watching.
Right.
Not a lot of people were doing something. And I was a little bit upset with the mom. I was like, "Pick him up, help him. Like, he is obviously
Yes.
upset." And I have 4 kids of my own, so I was, my mummy came up in me. But what I want to say is that what I did notice after I walked away is very few people wanted to do something about it, even though they saw him deeply in distress, which was quite, acute, versus minute when there's small, little, subtle messages that we're not even paying attention to.
That's right. I'm a strong believer that if you see something, say something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to bring forward. If a child cries because they don't want to go somewhere, especially a place where they used to love to go and
Mm-hmm.
now they don't, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's huge. If you're a daycare provider, or if you are a teacher, or if you're a neighbor or a friend or a family member or aunt or uncle or anyone, if you see a child that is very reserved and very quiet, a child that is not free to go play, that's why we have to create awareness that children don't go with strangers, because
Mm-hmm.
they're so innocent. They just want to go and do the thing. They want to go play. They want to learn, and they don't measure danger.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a teacher and you have a child falling asleep in a classroom, or a child that doesn't play well with others, you need to pay attention what's
Mm-hmm.
going on in that child's life. Because
Mm-hmm.
what happens is that child is going to grow up in distress, and then when they're in their 20s and 30s trying to raise a family, they don't have the knowledge to look out for these things for their own children in the future. I
Mm-hmm.
know deep in my heart, if my parents had had someone like me create awareness, if your child is crying because they don't want to go somewhere, especially a place where they used to love to go, you need to find out why, what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. The
Mm-hmm.
child is not going to speak, but they're going to give you signs. So that is the tool that I want to bring forward for people in charge of raising children. Even
Yeah.
a young teenager, a young girl, or a young man, if
Mm-hmm.
they don't want to interact with a parent, or if they spend hours in their rooms with the door closed and they don't want to sit at the table or be part of the family, there's something going on. And when that behavior starts, that's when you need to drop everything and
Exactly.
speak with that young lady or that young man.
Mm-hmm.
Because the young ladies, they are going to go look for attention. They're going to go look for love someplace else at that
Mm-hmm.
young age. And the
Mm.
young men, they may do the same thing, or they may experience with drugs, or something that is going to fulfill that void they have. They could be getting bullied in school. It's just so many things that young adults go through.
And I think in a lot of times we do give the signs subtly. And I want to make a big point about trusting your intuition, because when you have a
Yes,
sense that something is wrong, or something just doesn't feel right, or something isn't
yes,
okay, you have to follow up with that. And don't
that's
be
right.
embarrassed or ashamed if you
That's right.
ask a few extra questions, or you just check in, or you just make sure, because ultimately it's those times when you ignore that or you push that away that you could have done something about it. And we
That's
have
right.
to be very, very cognizant of our kids. We have to be listening and watching. I do remember when I was young, one of my friends was being bullied by her older brother,
Yes,
and very, very severely. And she finally ended up telling me, and I ended up telling her parents,
that's right.
because she was so afraid. And I was just young too, but I just felt like I had to do something. And so we
Yes,
don't know where it's coming from, but we do know that as a society, we have the obligation to do our very best, to really, really
yes,
do our very best. And if
yes,
you're young and you're listening to this and you don't want to get involved, then tell someone who's older, or share it with somebody who is an adult.
that's right.
Wonderful.
Um, and that is my ladybug movement. So my Let's Move Mountains movement came after I wrote the book, and I
Hmm.
realized that all my troubles being a young teenager, 20s, 30s, 40s, and early 50s came from me. I always
Mm,
wondered why I was living a life of sadness, a life of depression. And I evaluated every stage of my life, and I realized I was the common problem. I
mm,
was the one that didn't believe in me. I was the one that didn't communicate, didn't create boundaries, didn't know how to say no. And I was the one suffering. So, this is one of the tools that I found to be the first tool that comes out of the toolbox for someone that is having sadness, or a secret that has hurt them over the years. I went to the mirror and I had a talk with myself, and
mm,
it was very difficult for me going to the mirror and telling the mirror, the person that I was looking at, that I used to refer to a picture that I have of me when I was 6 years old. I used to refer to that picture as she, and I used to think that she was so cute.
mm,
And so I went to the mirror and I said, if people around you tell you that you are smart, you probably are smart. If people tell you that you're beautiful, you probably are beautiful. People compliment you, that's probably because you are all those things.
mm-hmm,
So you must do whatever it takes to stop believing that about yourself.
mm.
And I
Stop
started,
believing the negative about yourself. Stop believing the other story, the other sort of the
yes,
negative voice. Mm-hmm.
yes, the self doubt had to go. So I began to read positive books. I began to listen to positive videos. YouTube videos have helped me immensely. The I am affirmations. Write down the affirmations, write down the things that you would like to accomplish, write down the things that you like to do. So you actually go and do those things. Like for me, gardening and cooking connects me back to the days where I was happy and I was the ladybug with my parents. So those are the things that I did for myself. First of all, tell the mirror that you are enough, that you
Mm,
are worthy of love.
mm,
And start doing the little things that you love to do. Like I
mm.
said, for me, it was gardening or making a new recipe. And eventually, when you do that all day, every day, you gain that confidence to create the boundaries around you that you need. I have this, and this is another tool. I have this imaginary bubble around me that I keep myself safe. And in my bubble, positivity and
Mhm,
love.
mhm.
That's what's allowed in my bubble.
Mm,
Anything that is negative, or is it of a negative nature, or negative comments from people or friends or family, I can hear it, but it's not allowed to come in
mm,
the bubble.
mm.
And it's my bubble, so I only allow in who I want, who I love, who I feel comfortable with. And I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. And these are the things that
Amen.
I learned, and these are my tools. And I want to go out and I want to tell everyone that has self doubt that we can move mountains together. And I
Mm.
want as many people as I can possibly recruit to move mountains with me. I have this unbelievable energy and desire to go ahead and, like your show, ignite those that are still suffering.
So beautiful, so beautiful. I want to share a little bit about mirror work. Like, folks, when you're doing mirror work, you're looking at yourself in the eyes. You're not judging your hair. You're not looking at the fact that your lipstick looks a certain way or this isn't great or you're getting a wrinkle. Like, you're not looking at you. You're looking at
Inside.
you inside. Yeah, that deep person inside of you. You're looking in your eyes and you're seeing past all of this and you're seeing the amazing soul, spirit, energy that you are. I think that's really powerful to point out in mirror work. So I love that you said that. And then I appreciate also that you talk about the bubble. I don't have a bubble, but I have a pink cloud. When a few
Yes,
years ago, I had a beautiful indigenous individual give me the name Pink Cloud as my native name. And so I love living on my pink cloud. So my pink cloud doesn't have any room for negativity. It doesn't have any
that's
room for
right.
naysayers. People can't get on my pink cloud if they're climbing up the ladder of frustration, anger, or like negativity. And so it's so beautiful. Like, you may laugh, people listening, that she has a bubble and she has a cloud. But here's the thing: you protect yourself energetically and you surround yourself with the people and the situations and the vibrations that help you stay in a positive state. And if you have to imagine a bubble or a pink cloud or whatever it is, create your own thing that you let other negative energy know, sorry, you're
That's
not
right.
welcome here. I just want positive energy. And the cool thing is, negative energy will stay away from positive energy. So if you keep surrounding yourself with positive energy, all that negativity will just disappear on its own. You won't even have to push it away.
That's right. And I have one more set of tools. And this set of tools is designed for people that live with someone that is a negative force. It could
Mm,
be a parent, it could be a spouse, it could be a whoever you have. It could be a manager. You don't have to live with them, but if they are a direct force with you, that is a very negative force. And someone that may possibly have a narcissistic personality, and you don't have a way of getting yourself totally away from these people. So these are my tools for them. So there's three things that you need to remember. One, the narcissist is never wrong.
mm,
Two, if you engage, you lose.
mm,
And then number three, Picture yourself with a big bowl of jello and a hammer and a nail and try to nail that jello to a tree.
Impossible.
Can't do it. So if you, this is a very strong tool. If you have someone in your life that is a negative force and you're trying to create the pink cloud or the bubble, just remember, you are here to protect you, and it's how you feel inside. So you have to find ways, like most of us do, to handle those people and those situations where you do not engage. You just keep cleansing your mind and your soul from negativity. Engaging does not get you anything, and
Mm-mm.
you stealing their fire from their fuel if you don't
Mm-hmm.
engage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one set of tools that I like to bring forward.
Yeah, I mean, I love to say, look, we're all 100% of our 50%. So
Yes,
really, take care of your 100%. So not
yes,
engaging, not triggering, not adding. Sometimes, we can write out the email, but we don't press send. We just read it and then we delete it, or we
that's
write the
right.
text and we read over it, and maybe we screenshot it and save it in our photos, but then we just delete it. And if you want to look at, like, learn new tools for you to realize that when
Yes,
you dissipate negative energy and you let it, I love that idea of nailing jello to the tree. And impossible makes me kind of laugh and giggle. It makes me
yes,
realize, like, there's so much retaliation or arguments or disagreements. They're just not worth it. They're just
that's
not
right.
worth it. And everyone is facing their own struggles and their own
Yes,
challenges. So compassion and understanding
that's right.
is so, so, so important.
That's right.
Beautiful. Well said. Lots of wonderful things. Are there some things you suggest that we can do to really bring ourselves through? And suffering is a tough word. I don't always love the word suffering, but there are people who do, really wear suffering on their shoulder or on their t-shirt as a badge of honor. Is there a way for you to suggest to just ease the suffering over time? It's not going to happen overnight, but share a little bit how people can potentially ease some of that attachment they have of suffering.
That's right. And it's funny that you brought up the badge because I used to wear my victim badge and I did that for 40 years. So I am so blessed and so grateful that by doing all this work in the mirror, basically speaking to myself, to my heart, not necessarily my face, I was able to retire my victim badge and I now wear my triumph badge proudly.
Mm,
So if you have a victim mentality, start very small. Start doing little things that you love. And for me, gardening worked. So little things that other people might think, oh, that's stupid. Now, if that's something that you love, start doing those things and start writing down the things that you want to see yourself do. Write
mhm,
down the things that you love. And if you live with someone that they may read your journal, then write things that are basic, not personal things, not things they're going to use against you at a later date. Just write that you love kittens or that you love puppies or that you love to make a soup every day, whatever it is that you love. Write the things down that you know that if someone reads it they're not going to use it against you.
mhm,
So start there, and you will see that if your brain is going on a constant positive manner, you're going to get there. You're going to get
mhm.
there because there's no way that um, your positive thinking and the ways that the things that you do that make yourself happy, there's no way that's going to let you down. You
Yeah, and it's really true to start just practicing positivity. And also, same, I know, gratitude is a big thing. So I
yes,
love kittens. I'm grateful for kittens. I love gardening. I'm grateful for the food that I get to create.
yes,
I love to cook, and I'm grateful for the people I get to
yes,
serve. I mean, taking what you love and then adding that extra layer of gratitude is super powerful, and it will pull you out of the negative. And of course, you made me think of service. When we are in service to others,
yes,
that's how we really make an impact. I want to say thank you, Regina, because you are being in service to us, in service to
yes,
humanity, by inspiring people to think differently, by making individuals aware of any potential suffering or distress that children are going through. And of
yes,
course, folks, there's so many helplines, there's so many 1-800 numbers, there's so many organizations out there in the world. Just do a little bit of Googling and searching for something in your local area. If you feel like there's a child in danger, or you yourself or someone could use some support. SHAYLA, thank you. Sorry, Regina, thank you. I saw SHAYLA right behind me.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Great book, great message. Folks, if you want to know more about what Regina is up to or get a copy of her book, please check out her website and see how she can support you. And again, if you are needing to have a conversation in regards to any kind of abuse, please reach out and see how she can support you. Blessings, my darling. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate having you on the show.
Thank you.
All right, great job. An important conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Really think about it. Is there something you can do to make sure that no one is suffering, not just children, but anyone you see? There are times when people are struggling at work, or they're having some emotional situation at home, and maybe you could be supportive. People on the street, people who are just walking by, you can say a little extra hello, a smile, hold the door. Just be gracious and caring, because we don't know what people are truly going through within themselves. And then decide that you want to step into empowering your own life. Writing is a great opportunity. Creating your own magic bubble, doing some mirror work, all great suggestions by Regina. Well, if you'd like to know how we're igniting humanity, please head on over to our website. We're doing all kinds of fun things to ignite the planet, including the largest compilation book with Ignite Moment stories, a beautiful event in May in Las Vegas, where we're talking about ways to ignite your brand, ignite your business, ignite your book, and also ignite your breakthrough. So if you'd like to be around some beautifully heart-centered people who are igniting the planet, we invite you to join us in Las Vegas. You can go to our website and just click on Gatherama, and you will see all of the fun details regarding our event. And of course, if you'd like to know more what we're up to, well, we are building schools in third world countries, helping ignite the lives of children and igniting literacy. So we're always wonderfully thankful for any donation you make to our charity. All the proceeds of our book sales go towards our schools and our school initiative. And so we're very committed to making sure that we build schools. And Ignite Humanity Live, this TV show, we do it 100% of the goodness of our heart. We don't charge our guests. We don't profit from this program. We do it 100% to show and share and inspire others. I believe and hope that every one of my guests share something or say something that awakens you up in a little way that makes you think more about humanity. And it doesn't have to be humanity across the planet. It can be right outside your front door. There might be something going on that you could do to improve the situation. There might be a person that you could help. And folks, that creates a ripple effect. So start right at home, start right in your own living room with your family and the people closest to you, and then step outside and decide you're going to do something to ignite the life of someone else. All right, have a fantastic weekend. I know it's a big holiday for many people, sending blessings and love to all the people who are celebrating this weekend, just honoring each and every one of you. Blessings and take care.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.